Hi, I'm Salvation, and in this video I want to show you my version of the Scoia'tael control deck that is currently a very popular deck in Gwent. I lost a lot of MMR after the latest patch while testing new decks on the ladder, and with this deck I could climb up to 4k MMR again. I feel that one of the big strengths of this deck is its consistency. I hardly got ever screwed up by bad draws at all. The deck has a lot of Scorch effects and uses ambush cards and ways to buff these cards. Ambush cards are played face down, and except one Scoia'tael card, nothing can damage or kill them while they are face down. This means that the minions that you are buffing won't be killed by your opponents or your own Scorch effects. To get even more control over the game, the deck has many ways to gain a significant card advantage over the opponent. The leader for this deck is Hook. With many important silver cards in the deck, he provides a reliable way to get these cards you did not draw, and always have a Scorch when you need it. The gold core for the deck are Aglaïs, Geralt Igni, Milva and Zaskia. Aglaïs is very important. She can reuse your powerful special cards, most of the time the Scorch. Geralt Igni is another Scorch effect, other cards that can be used in his place, but I feel in the current meta you can't have enough Scorches. Most other decks have enough big targets or stack one row enough to get over the 20 strength needed for the Geralt Igni. Saskia is just a really big swing card. In a long round with lots of units on both sides, no other card can deliver such a point value in one play. Milva is mainly there to gain card advantage. You play her if you have to go first in round 1 to pull a roach and get the roach back to your hand. That way you have 8 strengths on the board and still 4 cards in your hand. But she is also very useful later to reset highly buffed units like X-Mens or Imperial Brigades. The silver slots are Roach, Yevon, Seran, Turuviel, Nature's Gift and of course Scorch. Roach is there for the Milva trick and the value he adds to each gold card. I don't think I need to explain why Roach is good. Yevon is there for more card advantage, and you can also Scorch him pretty well. For example, if you start round 1 with Milva Roach and then play Yevon, many opponents will pass. But one Scorch will win you the round as long as the first card of the opponent was nothing higher than 9. Turuviel is a cornerstone of the deck and played in most versions of it, and that's why I play Seran. If you have both in your hand, it's just amazing. Buff the Turuviel with Dragoons and then play Seran pretending it's Turuviel. To overcome it, the opponent has to play 1 to 3 cards most of the time. If it then turns out to be Seran, you get such a massive card advantage. Even without the buffers, this bluff can work pretty well if you pull out Seran round 1 and place him between 2 Elven Mercs. Apart from that, Seran has another big advantage. His trigger is unconditional. With the recent popularity of Turuviel, many players adopted strategies like passing early to prevent the Turuviel from going off. Seran does not care about such things. He will always be turned face up and deliver his value at the end of the round. Nature's Gift is there to copy one of the other good special cards, or even one of your opponents. With Scorch, Tremors and Lacerate, there are 3 cards worth to copy in your own deck, and sometimes it can be even good to copy a rally to thin your deck more. I don't need to talk much about the Scorch. It's a big swing and can be used multiple times in this deck with Aglaïs and Nature's Gift. For the bronze cards we have the typical Elven Mercs. They are just good to thin the deck together with First Lights. You have to be a bit careful when you start, as you don't want to Scorch your own board or play Nature's Gift that copies nothing. For the Mercs we also play the 3 First Lights and the other specials already mentioned before. Then we have the Vryhat Dragoons. They are very important to buff up the ambush card in your hand, obviously. Vryhat Zappers are more ambush cards to buff. They can also be used to fake one of the other ambushes and deliver a solid 8 strength. and can also be used to be buffed up if you don't have one of the other cards available. And the last one is a Wryhead Officer. Against opponents like Consume Monsters or other Skiratel, he can often get pretty good value. You could also decide to play a Dwarven Skirmisher, but I'm pretty happy with the Officer so far. Let's have a look how this plays out. I have one game recorded to show you the gameplay of the deck. As you can see, we have a mirror match here, at least it's another Skiratel with the same leader. And we start with a mulligan. That's pretty nice, getting 2 golds in the first draws. And I try to get rid of the first light because I would prefer to get the Elven Mercs, but sadly I don't get any Mercs. So but at least I have an ambush to buff and 3 dragoons, and here I get a Milver on top, and I can use the Milver trick right away as I have to start the match. He plays an Eisengrim here, and I decide to pull Seoran right away to deny him too much value of that card. Because in a long round I won't beat Eisengrim anyway with that hand, at least I guess. With no Elven Merc and no first light anymore, it could be very hard to get enough value to the board, so I nope out of this round right away. Get Siren back to my hand, and that's a pretty good card advantage I have there going into the second round. Of course I have to win that round now, but that should not be that much of a problem. He pulls something right away, and he pulls his spy to get some card advantage back, and I try to just drop my Roach first, because if he just wants a card advantage, then now it's a perfect time to get rid of the Roach. But he also had a card he did not want in his hand anyway, so I start buffing. And I am thinking about buffing the Teruvial or the Siren, and decide for the Siren. And now I see that he obviously wants to commit a bit more to this round, but I have no problem with that. I can just go on and buff. At this point I also think that the Wryhead Officer will have a pretty good value with all those 3 strength units on his side. That's 3 additional value from the officer right now, but I decide to go for the first light to try and thin my deck a bit. Sadly that's not happening here.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
So, yeah, at this point I can pretty much see that he really wants to win this round. He's putting pretty high value to the board, and I decide to try to go for the Tremors now, because I was honestly hoping to hit more of his 3 strength units to kill them with a Wryhead Officer, so he can't buff them up. And yeah, now I decide to go for the big swing. He has many units on the board, so that's a pretty big blow. You can see that the point swing of a Saskia is really massive. He ignites away his own spy, and at this point I should probably realize that the officer lost all his value because of the Saskia play. Should have played that much smarter. Another problem I have, and I can't do anything about, is that all my dragoons are strength 6 now. So yeah, I try to get the tremors again to deny him the value of his Teruvial. At least I guess that it's a Teruvial he placed down there, and the tremors can probably kill off some value because it will kill the units to the sides of Teruvial. So that's what I'm doing here. And now we come to the problem I just talked about. He gets his Scorch back and scorches all of my dragoons. And also I buffed my Roach to the same strength, so that wasn't all that smart. And yeah, he's going all in here. But I have the Scorch in my hand and now I can use it. So he's passing now. I get my Teruvial. That alone is enough strength. And then the Zapper on top. And for the last round I have the buffed up Seron in my hand. And yeah, after the draw he also realizes that, and he will just pass, or not pass, he will forfeit the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. I will have more Gwent content coming on my channel, as well as my regular PoE content. Hope to see you soon.